it gonna work? All right, boom. Here we go. All right, I don't need these actually. Welcome to episode 11 of Open Source Thought. Um, I'm your host G Santino, also known as Gazantino on all streaming platforms and social media platforms. It is December 23rd now, but it's midnight. Um, so it's still December 22nd for me. It is 12:38 midnight. Um, and yeah, this is the 11th episode of Open Source Thought. Last time I didn't mention it, but I actually did upgrade the camera. I don't know if there's any noticeable differences there, but I didn't like the quality when I was getting the clips. That was one of the reasons why I been slacking on clips. This is one of the excuses I'm making for myself. I didn't like the quality when I would put it in like the mobile format, instead of like the landscape. It was just like very blurry, very pixelated. I didn't like the quality. It was like 720p. I didn't like it. Um, so hopefully once I start clipping again, I might clip this one. Hopefully this is a good episode. I think it will be. Um, Hopefully it'll look better. This is supposed to be a 4K camera. Um, I think it looks pretty good. You can see it's like auto focusing better. I think it looks alright. We'll see how it looks in the clips though. Hopefully it does look better. Um, but yeah, it's Christmas time. It's like the holiday season. Um, to be honest, I haven't really been too into Christmas this year, and even last year. Like I just haven't been in the holiday spirit lately. Um, and I don't really know why. I guess it's like reality just hit me. I'm just like realizing a bunch of things. It's like why like I just start questioning everything. Like why do we even do Christmas? Because our parents did it and our parents did it. Like why are we even doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It does just seem like it became too commercialized, you know? Like the whole Black Friday thing and everyone is um buying presents on like Kaushi and all of like the afterpay type of payment methods. Like nobody even has money to buy these gifts, you know? So it's just really interesting to me how it became this thing where people feel obligated to buy gifts and spend money and go into debt just to celebrate a holiday that it's really for Christians, right? Isn't that a Christian thing or a Catholic thing? And I feel like a lot of people aren't even really that religious. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't any religious people, but some like people that I know that don't even go to church, they don't really talk about the Bible that much, but they feel so obligated to like put a tree up and I guess even if you don't do those things, you still feel this you still believe in God, like I believe in God. I do. But I don't know. I just question the reasons why we do the things that we do, like as a society, because it just feels like it's people are just falling in line. Like, okay, it's this time of year, so we're gonna do this thing, and it's just like, why? Like, why are we doing this? Like the whole like turkey for Thanksgiving. I get that it was like the because of the pilgrims and the Indians, and I guess that's what the Indians gave the pilgrims, or the pilgrims gave the Indians, and they had like this feast or whatever. And I guess there was like a lot of turkey being eaten, but it's like turkey's great. I like turkey. I hear a lot of people say that it's not even that good. It's dry. It's this and that or third. I like turkey. I like turkey better than pork. You know, but I like pigs better than turkeys. Like the animal itself, like the live animal. I think pigs, they're intelligent, they're cute. Like I'd rather have a pig as a pet than a turkey. Anyway, I'm kind of just getting off topic. I really haven't been too into the holiday spirit. I guess you like as you can see, there's like nothing in here that indicates that it's Christmas time or anything like that. Um, I was even hesitant to get people presents this year because I'm like, why? like, like other than like that, I love them because they're my family. But it's like why? Like why didn't I give them gifts 2 months ago? Like I loved them back then too, but like why now? It's just like I don't know. I'm just a little I'm a little retarded. I just be asking questions about the tradition of our society. It is interesting when you think about it, but yeah, I do like Christmas. I enjoy Christmas. I like it when people are really able to get into the spirit of it. I appreciate that, but I just haven't been. I really haven't. I've been feeling like a lot of weight from the world. I guess I'm like I might be overthinking things, but the world just seems to be in such turmoil. Like there's just so much going on. But I don't think we should let that weigh us down. Like we should still, be joyous and put a smile on and be able to appreciate here and now. Like look at me. Like I'm not in war. I'm not, getting shot at or bombed or drones aren't chasing me trying to blow my head off. So I'm appreciative of that, you know? Um, Even though I feel like that's like heating up a little bit. Like it feels like we're eventually like heading in that direction. I hope we don't. I would greatly appreciate it if my kids are able to live a relatively comfortable life like I have. But it just seems so uncertain. Like we genuinely just don't know what the future holds. And I think it's exciting. I do. I don't really get bogged down too much by it, but it is good to think about like the bad things that can happen as well as the good things. And it's just the way it's going. Realistically, it just doesn't look good, you know. Um when it comes to like government and politics, geopolitics, when it comes to AI and like big tech and all the things that they're doing. Um yeah, just when it comes to like America. I mean, I'm an American, so I'm thinking about America. I don't even know what it's like in like China or Uganda. I don't even know where Uganda is. Where is it? I have like a map here, my mouse pad. I don't even know where Uganda is. But like America, I heard Theo Vaughn say this, and it did kind of stick with me. Because I thought about it once, but I didn't like think deeply about it. But then he brought it back up. And he said that America isn't guaranteed to be here in the future, you know? But growing up, we kind of felt like that. We felt like America was like a given, you know? And I think a lot of people take America for granted for like what it is. If you take a look at Russia, at China, at parts of Africa, even like South America and all of those countries, America is very unique. It's just a unique country. And the fact that people can live the kind of lives that we live, it is a blessing. The fact that you can come here and like make something of yourself, that's a special thing. Like nobody goes to China like, okay, like now we're gonna pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and make a company or work really hard and climb the ladder and build ourselves up coming from like a different country. And maybe they do that. Like some people probably do. But I think that's what America is like known for. That's like the branding. I think America is like all about branding these days. It's like a very hollow and lacking of substance kind of product, but it's like really good branding. Like that's what America feels like now. It does, and it sucks because like I don't know, man. Like as a kid, like me, I always thought that things would just improve, but that's just not the case. The world is a very chaotic place, and you can't predict what's gonna happen. It's not a steady trajectory going upward. It'll go up, it'll go down, might even go sideways, you know? Um, or it might completely collapse. We just don't know. But anyway, I got a few topics here. So let's get into one of I do want to talk about AI, obviously, but I kind of want to reiterate something that I think I've said already. And that's just the need for like, you know, I guess that's kind of like a theme with the show, but like open source AI and open source technology in general. Like if we allow big tech to just have all of the like have this monopoly on AI, even if it's 10 companies, 10 main companies in America that just have everyone's data. I don't think that's a good thing. What I want, what I think is the better alternative to that, to like having OpenAI, Microsoft, um, Tesla and Elon and X and like all of these big companies, rather than them having all of your data, I think it would be way better if there was like a bunch of smaller companies, maybe even local companies, but just smaller companies that offered AI models that you can actually buy. Kind of like how you would buy a movie or a video game, right? You don't stream it, it's not in the cloud. You buy the software and you install it on your device, and it's yours. That's your AI. It's your property. It's your digital property. It has an ID. It cannot be copied. It's yours, right? That's what I think we need. And that's not necessarily even open source, but I think it would be even better if it was open source. And if you can if they allowed an API so then people can build applications with that specific AI. So for instance, say I have a small business, say like a mom and pop shop, right? And I decide like, you know what, AI would really help. I see all the benefits that it's having for my competitors. I want to try it, right? So you would go to the company, whatever it's called, and you would purchase the software, purchase the AI software, install it on your computer or whatever. Or maybe there's even like specific hardware that you would be running it on, like a specific server that you would run in your business, like a physical one that you would set up somewhere. Kind of like how you would set up a router, but instead you would set up like an AI server or whatever you want to call it, but it's your data. Like it's not in the cloud. This is your physical thing, you know? And let's say it's like for a small business, maybe like 60 billion parameters, or I think it's like, I don't know if they go up by like 8, 16 or whatever, but you buy this AI software and let's just say you put it on your computer. Let's say it's compatible with normal computers, right? So you buy it. And now you're able to feed it all of your information, like for the business, like all of your books, meaning like the numbers, how much you get paid, your taxes, what the menu looks like, um just like everything pertaining to your business, right? You're able to just feed it all of this data and it's yours. It's yours. And you could take away data, you can analyze all of it, you could even hire someone to manage it for you if you want to, but you have control of it. It's not in the cloud. I'm so tired of everything running in the cloud. It bothers me, but there's really no alternative to it right now, it seems, other than running it on your local hardware. But these AI models, they have so many parameters that it makes it like super gigantic. You can't just put it in your phone. You can't just put it in a computer. It won't run. It's too big of a software program. So it has to run in the cloud right now. But for something like an 8 billion parameter model, that can easily run on a computer. You can run that on a computer. That's why I said something like 60 billion parameters. And I was saying that pertaining to like if you had a computer or like a an ecosystem of computers that like ran as like a server for your specific business, and that can run a 60 billion, 80 billion parameter model. But I just see that being the better alternative if is people having their own AI to themselves, you know? I think there should be AI. I think we should kind of rebuild society with AI. But and when I say that, people are like, "No, that sounds horrible. Why would you do that? AI is bad for the planet. This, that, and the third." And it's like, yeah, I understand those concerns, but that's because it's in the cloud. That's because we're relying on these giant data centers to run the AI. I'm saying let's get away from that and let's have a whole bunch of mini AIs or kind of like mini data centers at our own homes, at our own businesses. I think that's the better alternative. I feel like we shouldn't be relying on Elon Musk and Sam Altman to supply the compute. I don't want to rely on them for the compute. I want to have the compute. I have some compute. I have a computer. So I don't even know how you would there probably is terms for this, but I don't know them. But how you would like measure how much compute someone has, you know? But I have compute. You have compute because you have a phone. Phones have a certain level of compute. You can run a certain model directly from your phone, whether it's a 1 billion parameter, 4 billion parameter, whatever. But you can run some AI on your phone, directly on your phone, not on the cloud. So I think that that is the better alternative. That is, um, I think that's what we should be focusing on. But right now, it's just like this race of who can make the biggest data center, who can make the best AI. And really, at this point, all they're doing is throwing compute at the AI and making the models bigger and bigger. And yeah, they're getting kind of smarter, but I can guarantee you the average person does not need like a 200 billion parameter model. You just don't. Like most people will be just fine with like 8 to 10 billion parameters in their models, you know? But it does depend on your use case. It does depend on what you're trying to do with it and how you use it. You know, like what are your intentions with it? So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. On AI and like where we're headed. I feel like we just shouldn't be relying on them. Oh, I have mod. Where? What is this? Kick. I have mods in Kick. Okay, I think these are all bots. Um. Anyway. Um. Yeah, and like speaking of that wasn't really on open source AI, but that was just talking about like another direction because I would rather be in a world where everyone has their own compute. Like imagine if that became a normal thing. You know how we all have our routers, right? And I get that like the routers are kind of connecting to like the fiber optic cables that are running under the oceans and stuff. So it's not really your internet. I don't know. The internet is an interesting thing too, but we do set up a piece of hardware in our homes to be able to connect to the internet. So that's kind of the way I'm thinking about how AI probably should be or like how it could be. You know, I think that that would be better if people had a system and honestly it could probably be a computer, but I think it should be hardware that's specific to running AI, like a server or whatever like it would be called. Is probably something new. I think a lot of new things are going to come about the AI era, the AI revolution, whatever you want to call it, cuz honestly, we're still very much in the beginning of all of this. You know, I just started seeing people use this a whole bunch of new websites that detect AI images because there's just so much AI content that people genuinely do not know if it's real or not. But anyway, that's a whole different topic, right? So it would be really interesting. I think it would be better if people had some type of physical system in their house to run their AI, and that's what they relied on. And honestly, you could even connect to it remotely. So if you wanted, so like you can, so everyone would basically have their own cloud, right? Because you can have this server or AI or whatever, like physically there at your house. It's some box. You set it up or whatever, and it should be relatively easy to set up. It shouldn't be like a hard thing, but that could allow you to like um use it on your phone or use it on a laptop away from your house, and send stuff from there to your your mainframe at your house. I see that as a potential future, and I advocate for that. I don't want to see a future where everyone is just relying on big tech for their compute, and it's literally ruining the environment. I don't know to the extent that that's happening now. Everyone keeps mentioning like the water, and every time that you generate an image or give it a prompt that it takes up this much water. But I don't think it's actually like burning the water, because they do use like water cooling to like keep the GPUs and the computers in the data centers cool, because if it gets too hot, that's a problem, obviously. But it's not like every time you generate an image, the water evaporates. That's not what happens. I don't think that's what happens. It's like it's a water cooling system. You feel me? Um, so it's kind of just like circulating throughout the entire building. It's not just evaporating. But they are using a bunch of water. I'm not denying that. Like data centers are using a bunch of water. Like I'm not gonna sit here and try to refute that, because that's obviously a truth. But what I'm saying is like in the future, imagine that like to like a drastic scale, to where like data centers are literally ruining the environment, like literally causing crazy amounts of pollution or crazy electromagnetic whatever the fuck, and it's messing with the earth's, like imagine that. Imagine if data centers got so big or whatever that it's just messing with the earth's polarity or whatever, and we start shifting in different ways or whatever, like that's obviously not scientifically sound. I'm just spewing some bullshit, but you get what I'm saying. It's just imagine a world where we rely on them so heavily that they are literally destroying the environment, but we are just so dependent that if we stopped, then it would like collapse society, it would collapse the economy. I don't want that to be the case. I think that everyone should have their own systems, their own cloud. I'm tired of the universal secret cloud, the Amazon, the Azure, all of these clouds that we rely on. I don't want to use them. I want my own cloud. And I think that that is that's a market that's untapped. Is giving people their own systems for AI. Um, I see that being a very lucrative thing in the future potentially. I do. Cuz you got to think about it. Everything that we have now technologically wasn't made with AI in mind, right? So like your computers, your phones, your cars, traffic. Don't get me started on traffic, right? Just all of these things. It's pre AI. So everything after this, after these, like from 2023 to now, like this era, things are gonna start being more and more compatible with AI and integrated with AI. So, and it's not all generative. Sometimes it's like I guess most of it is gonna be generative. Um, excuse me, but it's like the large language model. It's like a predictive model. And I honestly I have critiques about that. I talked about that before too. I don't know how scalable that is if we're actually going to be able to achieve AGI with LLMs. I feel like there has to be another breakthrough. I don't think LLMs are the end all be all. And if you don't know, LLM stands for large language models, which is what all AI is right now. It's a large language model. That's what ChatGPT is. That's what Grok is. That's what Anthropic is, or Claude, whatever it's called. Um, but yeah, I think that people should become more tech savvy too. Um, because imagine if shit hits the fan. Like I think computers, like software and hardware, I think are very important. And I don't know how important it would be in like a war situation or like a semi-apocalyptic situation. And I'm kind of just like I'm open. I'm I'm thinking out loud right now. But imagine if like a kinetic war happened in America. People are shooting each other in the street. You see dead bodies everywhere, and you have to survive, right? There's still electricity, but who's keeping the grid up? You know, what if that goes down? Where are you gonna get gas for your cars? I think in that scenario, you might want to have a Tesla, but then is Tesla gonna be able to just like somehow recall all of their cars to like drive back to their headquarters? You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna be able to take control of the car? So like being able to hack the Tesla, the Tesla is gonna be valuable. Like imagine being able to hack the Tesla to where you have full control over it. And they don't have any ability to see where you're going or whatever. Because I'm pretty sure that's the case. Like they can see through your cameras and stuff, and they're getting data from Tesla drivers all the time. That's how they're improving the self driving. So being able to detach from that system and sustain it yourself, that is what I think people should be focusing on. Like, and when I say people, I mean normal people, like me and you, just your neighbor, because people, is a general term. Elon Musk is a person. Jeff Bezos is a person. But I'm not talking about them. They're good. Like damn near whatever happens in the world, they're good. They have bunkers. They have money. They have resources. They have like clientele. Like they're good. They have people to talk to. Like they're fine. Me, bro. If a kinetic war happened tomorrow, if society collapsed tomorrow, I'm cooked, bro. I am cooked, bro. Like it literally like first off, I still wear glasses and like I depend on these. I need these. One like one fist fight that I wasn't even what is the word? That I wasn't anticipating, like a surprise fist fight, someone sucker punches me or something, I'm cooked. Glasses broken, can't see. like, I'm just cooked. You feel me? So that's one. But two, if I can avoid fighting, right? If I'm perceptive enough to be able to navigate that landscape, right? Um, it would just be like it would just be so chaotic. And like how would you communicate? And like who's keeping the grid up? I've thought about getting a Tesla for that reason. Cause like gas is gonna be hard to get. You can start siphoning them, but after a few years, that's done. And all you're gonna have is electricity. And even that, I guess, you would need to find like a generator or whatever, but I think that's more sustainable than constantly needing gas. So a Tesla is kind of the way to go for some kind of apocalyptic scenario, in my opinion, because it's electric, and they're fast as fuck. Um, but yeah, like being able to manipulate technology and modify it at your will, I think that is a very powerful skill that I don't have. I can barely code. Like I don't even think I can code. I be vibe coding. I don't know. I don't really know how to code that well, if I'm being completely honest. Um, but after software, like hardware is really the end goal. Hardware is the end game. That is because you got to think about it. Like right now, we're kind of in like this AI boom, this AI bubble or whatever, and I think that might pop. It seems like that isn't as exponential as people have predicted, like Elon Musk or whatever. I still think it's improving and like super rapidly, but it feels like we hit a plateau. It feels like that. I don't think we have behind the scenes. They're still coming up with all new kinds of like applications or things that the AI can do. But the way I think about it is AI is kind of the engine. Like okay, Chat GPT is like the engine, right? But then you gotta ask yourself, what am I applying this engine to? Meaning self-driving, right? Or being a co-pilot for game development, or being able to run an entire business alongside a human, right? Or being able to govern a city, right? So it's just like those are applications of AI. AI is just the engine. AI is a neutral tool. AI itself is not bad. It is what you do with the AI that matters. That's the application. So that's how I think about it. I don't think that ChatGPT is like super horrible or that that's the end all be all because that is kind of what I'm talking about when we hit a plateau is that like the engine it's still improving, they're still improving upon it, but you're not really going to notice it unless you're applying it to certain applications. um yeah. Oh, my cat wants to come in that in the room. Yeah, man. Like it just sounds it seems like things are probably gonna I don't even know if they're gonna get better, but they're definitely gonna get worse before they potentially get better. And like I'm a pretty optimistic person, I think, but it just doesn't seem right when it comes to certain things, you know, because I just don't have faith in the companies. I don't have faith in the companies. I don't trust them. I don't think that they have our best interest in mind. I think that they're just trying to make as much money as possible. Like Elon Musk, he keeps saying that AI is going to bring about abundance. And even I've said that a few times because I think it's true. I think it's possible that AI genuinely does bring about abundance for everyone. I literally see it as a potential like playing field leveler. Like everyone will be able to compete, everyone will be able to earn, everyone will be able to provide value to society utilizing AI to some degree. That is what I believe. That is what I believe. But it could also go the other way, like the Bernie Sanders way. And he just released a video a few days ago, basically just saying his concerns about AI and how he thinks that the billionaires like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Sam Altman, like these figures are really just trying to become more wealthy with AI. And that's all that's gonna happen. Is like the rich is gonna just keep getting richer, and the poor is just gonna get even more poor and more, um, like chained to just debt and chained to having to work all the time. And that is like that seems like actually I don't even know what it seems like we're headed, but it doesn't seem as straightforward as abundance. I think a lot of things need to happen to achieve that. I don't think AI itself is going to do that. It depends on what we do with the AI. What are we doing with the AI? That is what matters. I don't think the AI itself is going to bring us to utopia. It's just not. It's not. Um, yeah, it really depends on us as a society, us as a civilization, us as a human species. You know, I feel like I think about this too much. I think about this all the time. Like what is the future gonna look like? Because because it doesn't seem like it's for the people. Like what I was talking about, like having our own personal private AI, that is what I want. That is what I think most people want. Because there's a lot of privacy concerns with the mainstream AIs that we have. You know, the Chat GPTs, the Groks, the Claudes. I always leave Google out for some reason, but they're better than they're like number one or two. They're kind of leading right now. Like they're up there. And China is like right there. They're so close. They might even be better in some ways, but they're so close to us. They're like if we impede the progress of AI to any degree, China's just gonna lap us, bro. China is gonna quickly surpass us. If we and I'm talking about like like strict regulations. They're gonna surpass us quick, because that's how fast the technology is evolving. And it is pretty scary, like globally, but I'm personally not scared. I guess because I'm paying attention to it. But I understand the fears that people express when they talk about AI. Cause I've talked to some people about it, and they express a lot of fears. It's either fear or some people just don't understand the magnitude of AI. I be trying to tell people like, yo, AI is amazing. Like I feel like some people don't really appreciate the technology. Like put all the politics aside, put all the environmental things aside, put all the because there's like a lot of like art heads and liberal art people that want to like be an activist against AI or whatever. And it's like put all that aside. The technology itself, in my opinion, is it's amazing. It's a it's an extraordinary human accomplishment. You know, I do believe that. Um, because I look at it as a neutral thing. I look at it as like a hammer, or as like a pair of pliers, or I look at it like a how a computer's a tool to some degree. And some people use it to hack things and to scam people, and other people use it to make video games or edit videos, right? So it just depends on what you do with it. Um, it's a tool. It's a neutral tool, and I think people should like treat it like that more. Instead of just trying to demonize everything. I think it's an amazing thing. Um, but it there's a lot of concerns, a lot of risks, and I think it probably should slow down a little bit. Um, but there's just no way that we can do that. And it's like we can't let China have a significantly better AI than us. It's okay if we're competing, it's okay if we're like here. Maybe they get a little bit better and then we leapfrog them, and then they get a little bit better and then we leapfrog them. That is okay, I think. That's a better scenario than we're just like this and they're just like this. But we're you know what I mean? Like no, we need to be in the competition, because if you think about it, if they have a significantly better AI, they're like they can hack us. Like we're basically at their mercy because AI is that powerful. Like and I'm talking about like on a governmental level. I'm not talking about like the civilians. Um, but from a government standpoint, it's like it's it really is a race. It really is a race. Like if China ends up having better like a significantly better AI, that is somewhat of a national security threat for America. And people don't look at it like that. People are just like, no, we need to pause AI and we need to stop the progress. We just can't do that. We can't do that. And I think that's kind of what Bernie Sanders was saying. He wants AI to slow down the at the rate in which it's improving, which I understand his concerns, but we can't end up like Europe. Europe based like they just hammered down on AI and there's no innovation there. There's just really like damn near no innovation there. But yeah, we can move on from that because I could talk about AI. I could just rant about that for like decades. I could just keep going. Um, what do I got here? We could do that next episode. Um, okay. Yeah, we could talk about that. How long have I been live? Like 40 minutes? Okay, that's not too bad. Um, how do I want to start this? All right, I mean it's not like a deep topic or anything. Um, weed or marijuana is um or how do I don't even know how to word this. Like my brain is like my brain is farting right now. But okay, the government is thinking about classifying the the marijuana. Why am I talking like this? I am pretty tired. I've been out all day. Please excuse me. I'm new to this. um okay, hold up. Let me gather myself. Hold up. Give me 2 second break, please. All right. The American government is thinking about classifying marijuana as a Schedule 3 drug instead of a Schedule 1, which I agree with. I agree with that for the most part. I was seeing a bunch of people online talking about how that's a bad thing, but most people saying that are like against weed in general, and they just don't want that to be more normalized in society. And I can kind of agree with that stance a little bit, you know? Um, I smoke weed from time to time. I smoked a lot more when I was younger. Um, regrettably regrettably so. I think like maybe if I could go back, I probably wouldn't smoke as much. I didn't, and I didn't even smoke that much. But it was the frequency in which I would smoke. It's like it wasn't like I was like smoking like pounds every week or nothing crazy like that. But it was the frequency in which, because I'm really good at making it last, you know. But anyway, a lot of people are like against it, and I thought that was interesting because like a few years ago, I feel like a lot of people were like pro weed. Maybe it's just the side of the internet that I'm on now. Uh, but I think it's a good thing. But if they do that, I think that they should like review everyone that's locked up for weed charges and let them go, or like significantly reduce their sentences. Cause that's insane, bro. That's crazy. Imagine getting booked in 1992 because you had like an eighth of weed on you. You get pulled over by the cops, right? And it smells like weed in there or whatever, and you and you have like an eighth of weed, and you get like I don't even know, or like a pound of weed or whatever, and you get like 20 years. I don't even know what the sentences are or were. But that's crazy. Like like free my guy, bro. Like free him, bro. He did nothing wrong, right? But on the flip side, I do think that it should be done in moderation. Like I'm not really a big fan of like the pothead culture. Like live your life, have fun, be safe, all of those things. I'm not necessarily trying to like shame people that smoke every single day, like throughout the day, all the time. But I don't think that the majority of people should be smoking that much. I think it is a medicine. I think it does have benefits. Um, and the way in which you consume it obviously matters. Um, Gummies are obviously more healthy than smoking, because smoking anything is bad for your lungs. Excuse me. Um, but weed being, because I think they were saying that Schedule 3 is like the same classification as Tylenol or something. Which like I think that that's okay, but I think like as a society we should kind of like agree upon the normal amount of usage for everything. You know, I do think that we're moving towards a more like hedonistic society, which I'm not a favor of that. I'm not a favor of excessive drinking, excessive anything, excessive marijuana, excessive opioids, excessive anything. I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan. Um, and like I think we should like do more like studies on weed and actually like everyone that smokes weed or more people that smoke weed, they should measure it, they should weigh it, they should know the strain, they should like know all the specifics of what they're consuming and see what dose actually helps them, actually either helps them perform better cognitively, because that is the thing, or helps them perform more creatively, or helps them go to sleep better, or helps them start their day, or helps them whatever you're using it for, helps your back pain. Like it should be a more like calculated endeavor I think in general, like I even think that for like alcohol. Like if you're gonna drink, know what you're drinking, understand the amount that you're drinking, understand the time in which you were drinking, understand what you ate before. You know what I mean? Just like understand the whole process of consuming this drug. And I just don't I don't think stoners do that. I don't think like people that smoke weed give a like they don't care. They don't care about a lot of them don't care about the strain. They don't care about indica or sativa. They don't care about the THC levels or the what is it called, the terpenes. They just don't care. They don't care about how fat their blunt is, or blunts versus papers. You know, and I'm not saying all of them because a lot of people are very scientific about it, which I appreciate. I think that's cool. I think more stoners should be very like meticulous and scientific with how they smoke. You know, like a lot of um like dealers I think don't even really know the strain that they have. They're just getting a whole bunch of weed and they're just like, yeah, yeah, this is named like bubblegum kush or what. Like they just start making up names. They don't even know what it is. They're just making things up. They don't know if it's indica or sativa. Um, and I think that that's important. And like, what percentage of indica is it? What percentage of sativa is it? You know, like I think that we should be more meticulous as a society with how we consume all the drugs, all of them, like from caffeine to Adderall. And I guess Adderall and stuff, those are um, more calculated, but for you because it's through a doctor. So like they give you a bottle, they tell you how many to take a day and when and how to space it apart. You know, so that makes sense. But I think that that should be applied to weed. You know, and maybe it is. Maybe like medical weed, they probably do tell you like, hey, only smoke once a day or only smoke half of it or whatever. Maybe they do that. But I'm just talking about for like the normal guy, the normal girl that's just like smoking weed. Like be more meticulous. Like understand what you're smoking. Um and maybe stop smoking. Stop smoking and like try gummies for a few weeks, you know? Try try like a weed drink. They have marijuana drinks now. THC drinks. Like try that for a little bit. Like smoking is bad for you. And you know, I will confess, I enjoy smoking. I enjoy rolling up. I enjoy the process of like crushing it down, rolling it up, you know, like going to a designated place to smoke. Like I enjoy the ritual of it, you know. I like how it feels when I'm pulling on it. It's it is kind of like therapeutic. It's like a ritual. It's like it feels I don't even know. It feels like a cohesive thing, you know, and like I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of it. and I it kind of just looks cool like when you're like smoking. Like in my head, like I feel like I look cool. I guess I guess that is part of it. Even when I'm by myself, I'm like, damn, bro, I look dope as fuck right now. That was funny to admit on camera. That's funny, but yeah, like I do enjoy smoking, but I understand wholeheartedly that it is bad for me. And I will also say that I don't smoke that much anymore. I don't. Um, I probably smoke like once a week now. Not even. Like it's probably gonna end up being like once a month. Like I don't even really think about it anymore. And I try to only do it on the weekends. Like I kind of just put it down for the most part. But even when I do, it's like what like I need to start just doing like one hit, and then that's it. Because it does feel good when you just have like a light high. It does. Um, but yeah, uh, weed going from schedule 1 to schedule 3, and I don't think that went through yet. That didn't fully go through. I think it was like brought up. I want to just say in the government because I don't know the exact terminology. Uh, in the legislation or whatever, I don't even know. A bill was passed. I don't even know how. I don't know how. I don't know the logistics of the government. Um, but yeah, that I think when I heard that, I was actually like, okay, W. I was glad to hear that because I don't think people should be demonized or be going to jail for like possessing or smoking weed. Um, yeah, and I live in Delaware, so there's shops now. There's weed shops, and they just started opening up in August because that's when they fully legalize it for recreational use in Delaware. So that's been cool. I've went to them a few times, um, but it's expensive there. It is expensive, but I do think it is worth going there because you get the specifics of what you're consuming. What I was talking about earlier, like I can shop for indica, sativa, or hybrid, and I can see the percentages, but it is pricey. It's like basically $80 for like an eighth, and it's like what? I would just go there and get like some pre rolls or something for like $10, $15. Get like two little pre rolls because like I don't smoke like that. I don't need to be like smoking every second of the day. I think that's kind of stupid. Cause like I will say when I smoke too much, I feel like weed makes me dumber. I genuinely think that. But when I just smoke a little bit, I do think it enhances something. It enhances like maybe I get like more energetic, maybe even more confident or something. Or just like more lively, more focused sometimes. When you just get there's like a sweet spot in being high. That's like it's obviously different for everyone because smoking too much can cause psychosis for some people. Like it affects people differently. Like I know people with schizophrenia tend to not smoke because it triggers some things in them, like in their mind, because it just doesn't mix well. So like for some people, they just shouldn't be smoking, or they shouldn't be smoking so much or whatever. Like everyone has a certain dosage that's like a sweet spot, and I think that like we should be just more meticulous with how we're we're consuming our drugs. Um, yeah, but I guess we could just pivot a little bit. Um, I kind of want to talk about like the power that the masses have in numbers and how powerful organization can be. And what I'm really pertaining to, like why I'm bringing this up is to kind of like start to uh, and this is all hypothetical obviously, but it would be really cool. It would be dope as fuck actually if we can basically like boycott certain things and like effectively do it, you know? Um I think okay, yeah, that is why I'm bringing this up. because I had a thought earlier about the Mariah Carey song. The Mariah Carey song. I was thinking like, what if nobody fucking played it? What if nobody played the Mariah Carey song for Christmas and she just stopped making money? Cause like every time it's Christmas, she makes like $3 million or some figures, probably even more than that. But she makes so much money off of these streams from a song that's like 20 years old. And I'm not like hating on her or anything, but it just kind of goes back to like that question of like tradition, like why do we do these things? Um, and it's never gonna happen, but just like apply that to other things. Obviously, it would be cool if we could just like boycott things because we literally have so much leverage as the masses. Like I was seeing this video of someone talking about what if everyone just stopped paying taxes, like everyone at once, like no one paid taxes. And I'm not necessarily advocating for that because taxes are important to some degree. Um, they kind of like help with our infrastructure and stuff. So like I'm not advocating for that. Or like what if no one went to work? Or what if no one bought a certain thing or watched a certain show? Like we can literally like shut down companies by just boycotting them. Just don't interact with them at all. Don't click on the ad. Don't buy the product. Don't talk about just no. Don't touch it. You know? Um like it just seems like we're just always fighting each other. The masses, whatever, the people. We're just always just at each other's throats that we don't even have time to like recognize I guess what side we're on and then uh kind of like put up a front, or put up a barrier or what am I trying to say? Or put up a fight against something to identify an opponent together collectively and attack or withdraw or ignore or whatever. We're always like even if we agree on three things, some people will have a disagreement on one and it just shatters the whole thing and it's like can we just put all that aside and just focus on the one thing that we do agree with so that we can like have some positive change so we can actually like impact our society, our lives in a positive way. I don't know. I just think that there's so much power in organization. Like people need to start organizing more, organize and build communities and help each other. Like organization is literally everything. Like that's what the government is. The government is organization. How do you think America came to be? A bunch of guys said, yo, fuck all these taxes or whatever they were like even mad about. I don't know my history that well, but they were like, yo, fuck this over here in Europe. We don't want that. We're organizing, we're taking your guns, and we're going over here. And they started building and they organized and they built things. And they, you know, wrote the Declaration of Independence and now we're here because of organization. Like organizing is so powerful. It's so important. And I just don't see enough of it. Maybe I'm just not outside enough though. Maybe I'm just not attuned to that, cuz there are obviously organizations, but I kind of just mean like on like a massive level, on like a bigger scale. A bigger scale but a smaller scale. Damn, what do I even mean by that? Like your everyday person ha- kind of just has a sense of camaraderie with each other, you know, and being able to organize off of that, finding a common goal. Yeah, I'm just rambling. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, bro. I'm very tired. I am. This is caffeine, by the way. I'm not gonna say where because I'm not sponsored. Can I do like fake sponsors? Can I like be, can I like do like a fake ad? Will I get like arrested for that? Surely not, right? No, I'm not gonna do that this I'm gonna do it. I'll play around some other time, do like a fake ad. Like, yeah, go buy this thing. It would be cool to get sponsored. All right, what else we got here? I didn't have many things. I think the biggest thing was AI. And I do have another topic here pertaining to AI. And it's a question. It's, can AI produce quality work? Can it do quality things? And this came up because I was having a discussion with someone online, and they were saying how just AI is just the worst. It can't make good art, it can't make good code. It just sucks. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? You know? AI is definitely capable of producing good work. I've seen plenty of great AI images. I see a ton of like entertaining AI videos. I use AI to code. I'm not saying that like AI itself, but the combination of human and AI, that interaction can produce good work because it comes down to the human's taste. That's what it comes down to right now. When it comes to creativity, it's human taste. If you have some prompt, see, and you know what? I'm about to make the case for AI art because I say AI art is art. I believe it's art, and some people say it's not. I say it is, and the reason why is because first, the prompt. The prompt takes time. It takes iteration. It takes imagination. It takes vision, and it takes taste to be able to articulate and like kind of differentiate what is good and what's bad. The iteration of the prompt comes from you seeing the output and then you judging it. You saying, "No, I didn't like that. I didn't like how the tree looked." And then no, the cloth on the table looked a little off. Yeah, and I'm gonna change the background to blue. Yeah. And then you're gonna type all that in. And it's about how you word it. Because the words that you use matter. I think like that is an art. That is an art. Not everyone is good at that. No, like I understand that anyone can just download ChatGPT or go on whatever AI that they like and type in some stupid prompt and then an image will come out, and obviously that's not really, that's not art if they're not treating it like art. But if you treat something like art, I think it's art. Like who are you to decide what's art and what isn't? I think what I'm doing right now can be considered art. Speaking at length, can you do that? Can you do that and make sense for an hour straight? I don't know. I don't know. But honestly, this would be more entertaining if I had people in here. I do want to start doing that. I should start hosting that. I think that's what we're gonna start doing. Maybe starting next year. Or maybe even the next episode. Who knows? I'm gonna see who's down to do it. I'll probably try to get at least one other person, but it would be cool to get two people to get in here and just like have a discussion about these things and whatever else they want to talk about. Um yeah, but AI art is art. And like nobody can convince me otherwise. It is art. It's art. It's just a different kind of art. It's a different medium, but it is art. And I feel like true artists know that. Like if you're a true artist, you understand that AI art is art. It's a different medium. That's all it is. And the people that are like threatened by it, that hate AI art, I think that they're insecure. I think that they don't have true confidence in their ability to create. That's what I think. Because, excuse me, I have complete confidence in my taste and in my ability to create. That's why I'm not threatened by AI and what it can do artistically. And like people would say, like, well, it could just never amount to what a human can do artistically. And it's like, okay, like even if you want to hold that position, sure, I'm not even gonna try to debate that. That's not even like that's not what I'm arguing. I'm not saying that AI art is better than human art. I honestly, I would take the side of the human. I do put more value in human art than AI art because of the interaction between like the physical. The physical, even if you're doing like digital art, the physical, you're a human and you're physically manipulating things to make art. I appreciate that more. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes skill. I appreciate that more. But to say that someone's spending 4 hours on an AI prompt to get exactly what they want because they thought of something in their head, that's art. That takes time and effort too. It's just a different medium, it's a different way of creating, but it's art nonetheless. It just is. It's art. And like everyone who's saying that it's not, I think they're just kind of like an idiot. They're just like a pretentious and they wanna be against AI because it's the cool thing to do. Like literally, if I talk about AI on threads, I'm probably gonna get ratioed. I'm probably gonna get ratioed because there's so many like liberals on there or like Democrats or artsy type of people or whatever that just don't like AI at all. And like I understand to some degree. Like I get it. It's the compensation. It's the it's stealing art from artists and I steal art from artists. I see art that I like, I remember it and I use it as inspiration. That's no different than what AI is doing. It's basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing. Because AI does make new things. It creates new things that you've never seen before. It's like people make it seem like all the AI art is literally just copy and paste. Oh, this is a specific thing from this piece of art, and oh, this looks really similar to my artwork. It's a new thing. It's different. But I do agree. Like a part of me does agree to some extent because yeah, it is trained on art from the internet. So your art probably is in there. There isn't any compensation. So I can see how that could sting. Um, but it is art. AI art is art. It's art. It just is. Point blank. Anyway, I think I can wrap it up. We're at an hour and 10 minutes. I think this was a good one. I think this was a good episode. Last episode was a little. I didn't even rewatch it, but it was a little iffy because I literally came unprepared. I didn't have any topics. I was just let's just yap, and then that it was fun. It was actually fun. I think I'm a little bit more energetic this time or whatever, but that was fun. That was fun. These are always fun. I always enjoy these to be honest. And sometimes like I kind of like procrastinate a little bit to do these because I start to overthink. I'm like, yo, why am I even doing this? Who am I talking to? You know? Like what is the end goal with this? And then I just remember that it is about the clips. It's not really about this too much. It is more about like after this to make the clips. And I haven't been doing that. Part of it is because of the camera, but I mean, they looked fine. The image quality was good enough. Um, I just been slacking, but we're gonna do better. I think I'm gonna clip this one up We're gonna start distributing the clips everywhere. And I think it's good that I got a few episodes under my belt. Um, so then like if someone sees a clip and comes to the channel, they have a few things to look at, a few episodes to look at or whatever. So that's cool. Um, yeah, and I just wanted to get into the groove of doing this because ideally I want to do two of these a week. So you might see one Thursday. Monday and Thursdays are the days for open source thought, but it might be another day, because life is chaotic and I am semi spontaneous. Excuse me. I am somewhat of a spontaneous person, so I do like to do things on a whim sometimes. Um, so yeah. But Mondays and Thursdays are like the designated days for open source thought. Um, but yeah, no, with that, I think we could just wrap it up, right? I think we could wrap it up from here. Um, yeah. So you can find me everywhere at Gazantino. That is GAZNTYNO. And yeah, this is Open Source Thought, episode 11, and it's now complete. Peace.